Hi, I'm Liz Larson with The Art of Frosting, or for the day, The Cake Witch. I was going for the Bride of Frankenstein, but my son said I look more like a cake witch. So there you have it. Anyway, today we are finishing up our series of Halloween designs and also kind of wrapping up our series on how to put together designs, elements that we already know how to do, and putting them all together to make them a totally different design. Today we're doing that with our skull cake and turning it into a mummy centerpiece with a real live candle. We're also going to be using blow pops for underneath our roses. That's a lot of fun and something different, fun for your guests as well. So this is a fun one. Let's get started. We're starting out with our basic skull shape, and you can see that he's really roughed in. I've got his teeth in and I've got eyes shaped out, and you can see that one's smaller, got a little lopsided because we're going to use that for our mummy effect. Before we get our eyes colored in and our teeth, I want to mark out where we're going to actually put the roses, the vase part of this. So I want it right above his eyebrows here. And see, I'm just marking with my piece of Ziploc bag, just roughing it out. And basically we just want to take the skull, basically we just want the crown of the skull here. So we're just going to mark that out, rough it in. Don't worry if it's not perfect because we are going to be putting some mummy wrap on, so we're not too concerned about it. And then I'm just going to come in with a little bit of a smaller piece here and just take out a bit so that I end up with this ledge here. So just keep coming around, taking off icing till you get the ledge that you want. I want a rough, kind of messy ledge, but I want to flatten it out a little. So I'm just going to come back in and flatten it out. Now, this is all in fun, so it really doesn't need to be perfect, but you don't want it to look, if it's going to be messy, make it intentionally messy, not actually messy. So I'm going to come in with the airbrush and darken in my eye sockets and my skull cap. Now if you don't have an airbrush, just do dark icing here and here in the eyes. Next, I'm just going to pipe in one eyeball. I'm going to leave that side black. I'm just going to use the end of my coupler and pipe in an oversized eyeball, like so. I'm going to come back in with my airbrush with some red for the eyeball. And some blue for the center. Just a touch of yellow for his teeth. Now I'm not worried about where I'm spraying so much because I'm going to come over with mummy bandages. Next, I want to come in with my pupil. Just some black piping gel. Our next step is bandages. And if you're kind of unsure about where to put your bandages, you can draw them out in advance. I'm just going to use my quick icer here and come up and add a bandage here. Just bring it all the way around. And then one more. And you can bring it all the way around, or you can bring it up and end it however you want. To me, it's more convenient to bring it around on this one. Don't worry about overlapping. So this one I want to come up and over my eyeball a little, and over this eyeball a little, and back down. I'm getting a little tearing, which I kind of like. I think that's kind of cool. So I'm going to leave that. And you can see we quickly have our mummy wrapped. The next step is to place our candle. And I just cut a little X in the bottom of a cupcake liner that I'm going to use to catch the wax because we want this to be functional. Now, if your cake is not frozen, you can go ahead and just stick it down in. If it is, you may need to cut a little space for your candle. So you kind of want to just place your candle down in and then squunch your piece of cupcake liner around it so you can get your flowers in nice and tight. This will catch the wax. So this is actually a functioning centerpiece. You could light the candle and the wax won't actually get down into your cake. I've got my bag pre-striped with this is black color, food color, gel paste color, and a number 127 tip. Next, I'm going to load the bottom side of my bag with my red, like so. And I want about the bottom third of the bag. Now I'm just going to fill the rest with my black. Black is a really hard color to get a real deep color for, so that's why I'm using the piping gel and the black food coloring to get a deep black. Next, I'm just going to use some blow pops. That happens to be this brand, but it's about the right size of the sucker that we need. Okay, as usual, we're going to end up with lots of different colors coming out of here and different colored roses. But we're going to pipe our cone on top of the sucker and then just continue on piping the roses. Now, you don't know how to pipe a rose on a stick, you got to watch the video how to pipe a rose on a stick. We'll attach it at the end. So the regular rules don't necessarily apply to these roses in terms of how many petals. The 1, 3, 5, and sometimes 7. You kind of have to adjust to fit the end of the sucker, but you can see the bottom part of the sucker sticks out. And then we're just going to take our scissors, put them up underneath, and then place the rose. Now what you want to do is you want to kind of stagger them. Just a little, and don't push it all the way down in. You want to be able to get under there and get this stick out. And you're going to get them out the same way with scissors. Just stick your scissors under and pull the rose right out. Just going to get our very last rose placed here. And guys, your hands are going to get messy. So I would suggest maybe having that Halloween manicure done after this cake. So my son B said that my teeth were not yellow enough. So I came in with the airbrush just a little bit and I gave him a little more color. I also used just the pressure to mess up the teeth a little bit. He said they were way too regular for a mummy. Evidently, I'm not a mummy expert. And also, maybe that's a lesson on not letting your children look at your work until it's finished. Also, I bumped this just a little, but I also didn't like the way that my bandages were there. So I just came in with my Ziploc bag and just sculpted just a little bit more just in there and gave myself some thinner bandages. So just so you know, you can come back in and do whatever you need. He also says that he has to have a yellow eye. So I am going to come in just around the pupil and add some yellow. And try really hard not to mess up the rest of the cake. I don't know if that makes that big of a difference, but he thinks it does. So what do you think, guys? That's a lot of fun. I think it's going to be a huge surprise for your guests when they find a blow pop underneath each rose. Remember, you can just stick your scissors under there and pull each rose out on its sucker for your guests. That'll be a lot of fun. You can see that there's a million things you could do with this. You could just do the standard skull and put the roses on top. That would be great too. The mummy's a lot of fun. So have fun with this and play with it. Please send me your pictures on The Art of Frosting on Facebook, where thousands of decorators just like you are sharing their work. You can find me at www.theartoffrosting.blogspot.com as well, where there's a full body of my work. Just search the topic and you'll find some inspiration there. I want to give a big shout out to my dear friend Vicki for this lovely Mummy Dearest apron. You guys know I never decorate in an apron, and I didn't decorate in this one either. I didn't want to get it dirty, but it's a lot of fun. Thanks, Vic. We'll see you guys all again soon. Have fun with your Halloween decorations.